What's up, everybody? All right, day 3. What happened on day 3 of my Iboga Microdose / overcome anxiety / overcome the alcohol addiction? That pretty much is gone, actually. I have not had a single craving before. Even at the end of my day, especially at the end of my day, I would have this little feeling of like, oh, it'd be nice to just stop by the gas station, grab a drink, chill out, relax. I worked hard today. Like, those thoughts would still creep in, and I would just fight them, but I haven't had a single thought going on 4 days now. Hasn't even crossed my mind whatsoever. And thinking about it now, it's not even like, oh yeah, that would be nice. It's not a thing. It's just not a thing. So that's very interesting. Imagine it's only gonna get better from here. I'm doing this for a month. So, but what was interesting that happened to me on day 3 is when I got to work yesterday, my other location. I have 2 locations I work out of, doing massage and structural work on people. The other place is a kind of a private gym / salon. I rent a room there, so I show up to do my workout. I had taken the Iboga about an hour or so prior and was feeling great all morning. Really, really nice, still with that calm centeredness. Then as soon as I got to the parking lot of the facility where I'm at to go work out, I got hit with this really strong wave of anxiety out of nowhere, because I've been feeling good all morning. So of course my mind starts to think the worst, right? Because that's kind of what the mind does. It's designed to look out for danger or seek pleasure. That's pretty much it. We're either trying to stay safe or seek pleasure, avoid danger at a primitive level. That's pretty much how the mind works. So here's the interesting thing, though. I started to feel those sensations in my body, but my mind remained calm. So it didn't overtake me in the sense of I completely lost my thoughts. It's like my body was reacting, almost like the thought already triggered the physiological response, but I caught it fast enough to calm myself down so that I didn't go down that rabbit hole. And I still don't know what triggered it. I did call my coach because I was worried that maybe I was reacting weird to the Iboga. But then I got to thinking, I'm on such a small dose. Literally microdosing this stuff compared to what they give somebody in a traditional Iboga ceremony where they load them up with grams and grams and grams of this in one night. I'm on micrograms, literally. So he assured me to just breathe, focus on my breath, calm down. And then here's the interesting part. So Iboga is supposed to open you up, right? It's supposed to bring things to the surface so that you can handle them, so you can deal with them, because it clears your addictions, it clears your anxieties, not just covers them up. Dealing with them in your mind and learning to control it is one thing. Getting rid of it completely, that's a whole other game right there. So when my coach asked me, he goes, the first thing that comes to mind, he told me, maybe you just are getting really sensitive and picking up on other people's energy around you in the area. Now, I'm very naturally empathic. It's part of the reason I do the work that I do as a structural energetic therapist. I get very in tune to people very quickly. So it's just kind of been like that my whole life. So naturally, there is a possibility, I don't know for sure, that I could have maybe been a little bit more sensitive to that because of the plant medicine that I'm on. And as soon as he said that, I had the thought, and I asked myself, whose energy am I carrying? And when that thought happened, all the shaking, all the nervousness I was feeling pretty much went away completely. It went away 95%, because I was still holding on. I couldn't believe it stopped that quickly. So I was still holding on to the thought of but what if I'm reacting? And then the nervousness would come back. I'm like, no, I'm not. This is something else. This is coming from somewhere else. Maybe subconscious, maybe I'm picking it up from somebody that's near me here in the building. I don't know. So I would have the thought and I would calm down, and then I would think, oh, but what if my body's reacting bad? And then he started telling me, my coach is like, Jose, stop, thinking. Anxiety your mind will run away with you. Well, your brain will run away with you, all kinds of thoughts. So he's like, just breathe, calm down, you're gonna be okay. And sure enough, I was. But here's the other interesting part that happened. After I got off the phone with him, I decided to do a short Qigong routine just to center myself, just kind of clear out those energies that I was feeling, let my body calm back down from that fight or flight response that I was experiencing. And then after that, I sat and just began to meditate. But I began to meditate with my eyes open. And I immediately went into a trance. I mean, fast, like faster than I've ever done in meditation before. It was like, as soon as I took like 3 deep breaths, I was there with my eyes open. So I was staring at the wall in front of me. And as I'm staring at the wall, I'm in my massage room. It's a light gray wall. My eyes, lose a little bit of focus, because if you ever go into a trance, you're not really trying to like stare at one specific thing. You almost relax your gaze and you just start to perceive, even though your eyes are open, but you perceive with your other senses. You perceive with that sixth sense, and that's what people talk about, like that third eye perception. So you're just picking up on whatever's going on, but you're very internal at the same time. Like you're aware of your body and the environment around you at the same time, all the little subtle stuff that's happening. You're not trying to really think, you're more observant is what is trying to happen. So as I'm looking off to this gray wall, I see like a light yellow, almost kind of light pattern in front of my eyes with a really nice white circle, maybe the size of a coaster in the middle of it. And I'm like, oh, pretty hypnotic. Almost like that hypnagogic state that you go into right before you fall asleep, right before you start dreaming, like just as you're drifting off into sleep. If you ever manage to stay a little bit alert during that state, which you can do with practice, you'll notice that like your outside senses kind of shut down a little bit, but behind your eyelids you can see like these little waves of colors and things like that. It's very cool. It's called the hypnagogic state. So I got into that hypnagogic state with my eyes open, so naturally I'm seeing these colors and things kind of surrounding me, and then my mind starts to feed me stuff about what I'm carrying that is causing anxiety. So all those little things that I thought I had gotten rid of because my anxiety is under control started to come up. So, and I'm very happy with my anxiety under control. Well, I think if we all suffer, any one of us that suffers from anxiety would be very happy to say, hey, I got my anxiety under control, right? But part of the reason that I'm taking this journey is that I don't just want to get it under control. I want to eliminate it, not control it, because that takes a lot of energy to control, especially when you start to get hit with some sort of panic attack. I mean, there goes your resources right there, and you're tired for like hours afterwards because you're literally just fighting that fight or flight response, and that uses up energy. So my mind begins to tell me, and it just starts to bring up things that I'm stressed about. And here's the lesson I got from yesterday, which maybe it'll help you, is whatever it is you're doing in life, make sure you're doing it for you. It's too short of a life to seek approval, to be worried about what other people think, about what you're doing or what you want to do, whether they think it's silly, whether they think you're crazy, or they think you're stupid, or they think you're a genius, because this goes that way too. And I had a big realization that even though I'm doing what I love what I do, so I am definitely doing it for me, deep down inside, I was still carrying this like underlying need for approval. So if something didn't go right in my life, it's almost like I would hear judgment in my head from other people. I told you so, or I knew you weren't good enough, or blah, blah, blah. Just a bunch of bullshit. So I had gotten that under control, but subconsciously it was still there. So even though I didn't think about it, if I had a bad day, if I had a stressful situation, if I didn't do, as good of a job as I wanted to do, at work or in my life somewhere, consciously, it didn't feel like it was bothering me, but subconsciously, I had all these voices that were basically criticizing me. And it's because I was still doing it. Even though I love what I do, I wanted somebody to tell me I'm doing a good job. You know, I wanted somebody to say, like, nice work. You're good. Thank you. Very good. Oh my God, you know, you're amazing. Like, I still was seeking that validation. And what I realized is I don't need that shit now. I don't need it. Why? Why do we need that? It's irrelevant, you know? How do you feel at the end of the night? Do you feel like you did a good job? Do you feel like you're happy with yourself? You know, can you lay your head down at night and go, hey, you know what? I did the best I could today. I'm very happy with my performance. If I'm not happy with my performance, fuck it, I'll fix it tomorrow, right? My world's not going to end. Everything is good. So you don't need that validation from other people. You really don't. You really don't, especially if you're an adult. And I'm assuming you're an adult if you're watching this. You just do whatever the fuck it is you want to do. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, right? As long as you're not impinging on anybody's freedoms, right? If you're just pursuing your dreams, your passions, do it your way. Because guess what? Anybody else that criticizes you is only going to be able to criticize you, or even people that give you advice. I mean, some people mean well also. You got to get rid of that shit too. It's okay once in a while to seek counsel on something, but don't pick advice. There's a difference with that, because whether people are criticizing you or giving you advice, they can only give you that from their perspective based on their personal experiences in life. And yes, maybe they've shared some similar experiences to you, but they're still not you. They don't have your feelings. They don't have your soul. They don't have your life experience. They don't have whatever it is that you obsess about, that you've studied, that you've done in your life. They don't have any of that stuff to relate to. So how the hell are they going to tell you what to do? Or whether you're good or not at what you're doing, or, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? So that's what I realized yesterday, and I think it was the medicine doing that. I think it was because it felt like there was like another voice kind of talking to me. You know, I was calling it my higher self, or, you know, call it God, intuition, I don't know. But there was definitely two conversations going on in my head. You know, the one that was freaking out a little bit, wondering what was happening, and the other one showing me like, hey, you know, this is what's deep down inside. This is part of what's worrying you. So I actually found afterwards, the whole thing lasted for about an hour, and then I had an amazing day. It was a beautiful day. So completely worth it. And, you know, now I'm not scared to move on. I actually look forward to it. Like, now it's like, I hope it keeps happening so that I can just clear everything and become just so fucking free that nothing is gonna fucking bother me. I mean, I want to just feel so free and lifted and elevated that I'm just like hovering everywhere I go, you know? Just complete bliss, which I know is not 100% all the time, but you know what I mean. Like, you can live in that state where you're pretty much happy, worry-free for the most part all the time. That's fine. And when something does worry you, you handle it, you get over it. That's the way it should be. So that was my experience on day 3. It's supposed to get better as it goes along, you know. So definitely looking forward to what happens on day 4. And yeah, sleeping good still. Sleeping really good. Dreams are super vivid. I'm not recalling, well, I recall some of them. I'm recalling multiple dreams a night, as a matter of fact, so I can't remember the details of every single one. But I remember while I'm in the dream, they're very vivid, so that's kind of fun too. Anyway, guys, I look forward to sharing the rest of this journey with you. And like I said before, if you know anybody that is suffering from anxiety, depression, any sort of addiction, there are solutions, and permanent solutions, not cover-ups, not band-aids, real solutions to the problem, which I know millions of people need. So send them this video, forward them to this page, share it with them, tag them in it. I don't know, whatever it is you got to do. Just get this information out there so that people know that there is something that they can do, not just live with it, you know, or not just handle it or get it under control. Getting under control is great, but getting rid of it is even better, so that you can be absolutely free. All right, so see you guys in the next one. Love you. Ciao.